if you say a slur, a cop will give you a high five.
and then slip a 50 in your pocket.
Smooth like butter in criminal undercover. Doopity doo da day. I don't know how that song goes, but hip hip hooray and welcome everyone to the Fruity Cereal Podcast. My name is Kevin, and I'm joined by a guest this week. Introducing John Butter, the internet's John Butter.
Hello, everybody. It's me, John Butter.
From the internet.
From internet.
From internet. That is so freaking cool. John, how long have we been mutuals for?
Well, I was trying to think earlier today. I cannot put a number on it because time is not real.
I feel like it's been like at least 7 years.
Maybe. I mean, let's say it's 7. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, let's say 7 years. So yeah, but this is like the first time we've ever actually like talked to each other, like.
Oh yeah, like
we've ever even like FaceTimed.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But yeah, John, like your stuff is like really funny. Like your little edits and your skits and whatnots.
You know, I try.
You know, we'll talk about those in a second. But first, I feel like I do need to get through some news segments on my new segment, Sounds Gay. I'm in.
Oh, yeah. Love that. Is that new?
What?
Is that little sting new?
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. I'm trying to get stings in here. I don't know how to make music though, so like I have no idea how to get them in there. Like I've been thinking about like one of these days just messing around with like a GarageBand, but I don't know. I've never actually used GarageBand, so like I don't even know how it works.
I think you should just like pull in just like a stock sound from
iMovie. Well, that's what we did for the main theme of the show. Like the main theme is just like this. That's a stock song from YouTube.
Oh yeah, I know there's like a stock sound that was just like
Oh, and you think maybe I could like remix that, like just
give it the girl talk.
Give it the
business, yeah.
Okay. All right. So John. So unfortunately, John, I am gonna have to get into a sad story first.
Okay.
Because I feel like I do have to. I feel like I do have to talk about this because, you know, this happened pretty much like almost like right after we recorded last week. So I couldn't address it then. But yeah, everyone's talking about this story. So yeah, I feel I have to too. Outrage and fury as LGBTQ ally and mom of 9 shot in pride flag dispute.
Yes.
So yeah, John, you probably heard this story.
Yeah, I have. Just awful stuff.
Yes, it's the disgraceful end result of relentless attacks on the LGBTQ community and LGBTQ rights in the U.S. and around the world. Rest in peace, Laura Ann Carleton. The beloved California store owner was shot and killed during a dispute over an LGBTQ pride flag outside her business. The suspect was later killed in an encounter with police. When authorities arrived, they found the 66-year-old suffering from a gunshot wound, and she was pronounced dead. Sheriff's officials learned during the investigation that the suspect made several disparaging remarks about a rainbow flag that stood outside the store before shooting Carleton. In related news, a record number of anti-LGBTQ bills 650 in total, have been submitted in the US by April alone this year. Yeah, it's
it sucks.
And I'd love to preach about how, like, oh, this is the result of all this anti-LGBTQ rhetoric from from the Republicans, but they don't care. Like
Right.
they don't care though.
Right.
They don't care. This is what they want. Like, I remember I actually recently saw a post on Leah Thomas. She's the transgender swimmer who was like under in the controversy that the controversy about female trans athletes, and like there was and there was one comment that literally said, I'm happy for the hate crimes against these people. Like, just straight up said that.
It's so upsetting.
They're saying the quiet parts out loud, and it's
they're not even hiding it at this point.
I know they're not exactly. They're not even hiding it. I'm really sorry that I had to start off this on such an
you had to talk about it. I get it.
Right. Okay, but don't worry. The rest of the stories here are much better. Are much more are more positive.
All right.
Okay, so the next pride flag mounted on world's second highest peak for queer kids dreaming of own mountains. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. A queer athlete has celebrated turning 20 by flying a pride flag near the summit of the second highest mountain on Earth, in a country where same-sex acts are criminalized, in a bid to inspire other LGBTQ athletes. California-based athlete Aiden Hyman withstood intense altitude symptoms, blood clusters, and fever in order to unfurl the pride flag near the top of K2 in Pakistan. He tells Pink News that he took the challenge to show all queer people, yes, you can, and to showcase the resilience and power of queer athletes. Whether it's training for an Ironman, an ultramarathon, or one of the 7 summits, I train for every queer kid that dreams of their own mountains.
All right, nice.
Wow, and he's only 20. And he's only 20.
That took me aback.
Yeah, I know. Like, I was not doing this when I was 20.
No. So when I was 20, I was dropping out of college. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't drop out of college, but I might as well have, because it'd be hard.
It do be hard.
Yeah. But good for him. Good for Aiden for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely good for him.
Yes. All right. So the next story: homophobia is now punishable by prison in Brazil.
Ooh.
Yes.
All right, Brazil coming through.
Yeah, Brazil is coming through. In a landmark decision, Brazil's Supreme Court has ruled that homophobic slurs can now be punishable by prison. The decision puts anti-LGBTQ hate speech on the same legal level as racist hate speech, which was already punishable by prison in Brazil. Lead Judge Edson Fachin said that his ruling was a constitutional imperative to give LGBTQ citizens equal protection under the law.
Nice. I like that.
All right. That's kind of nuts that they made it, and like we don't even have that. We don't even have that.
No, absolutely not.
No.
If you say a slur, they'll throw a parade for you.
Yeah, they'll be the cop. If you say a slur, a cop will give you a high five.
and then slip a 50 in your pocket.
And that's probably where all that funding goes.
I don't doubt it.
But this is also kind of interesting because the same court ruled in 2019 that homophobia. Because it's all right. So the same court ruled in 2019 that homophobia was a crime. However, the previous ruling only referred to slurs against the wider LGBTQ community and not individuals. But it's also like, but Brazil also has one of the highest murder rates of LGBTQ people in the world. So that's I'm not sure. That's like, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to make of this now.
Me neither.
Yep. So let's talk about Dua Lipa.
Yes, I know who that is.
Yes, Dua Lipa says homophobia is a neighbor of misogyny and strong LGBTQ message.
And she is right.
Yes, she said homophobia and transphobia are neighbors of misogyny. She told she told Pink News. Many people deep down are just scared of themselves. The Grammy Award-winning New Rules hitmaker Dua Lipa has long been an outspoken LGBTQ ally, criticizing Qatar for its track record on human rights in the lead up to the 2022 FIFA World Cup, calling out fellow artist DaBaby, who collaborated on the remix for her track Levitating, for making homophobic comments. Many fans have praised the English Albanian star for her powerful words. Homophobes and transphobes seethe at the fact that queer and trans people are able to do what they will never be able to, which is live life in their own terms and for themselves.
Nice. Between this and Dance the Night, I feel like Dua Lipa is ally of the summer.
Between this and Dance the Night, she's ally of the summer?
Mm-hmm.
But just the summer, though. Not the year.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I don't like to make a call until at least Thanksgiving.
That's fair. That is absolutely fair. And you made so I know that you're a fan of Dua Lipa, John, because you made a sequel to Dua Lipa's New Rules, her newer rules. And John, what were the newer rules?
Well, I didn't fully listen to the song when I made the sequel, so I feel like the rules might have overlapped. But okay, let's say rule number 1: never call him back. As far as I'm concerned, you don't owe him jack. Rule number 2: don't call him at all. Block his number. Fuck off, Paul. I don't know who Paul is here, but rule number 3: never say you're sorry, even after posting anti-vaxxer memes on his Facebook wall.
I heard they cause rabies.
2018. Just for historical context, I made this in 2018. I feel like I wouldn't have hit the anti-vaxxer stuff post-COVID.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and then my favorite one. Rule number 4: steal his debit card, buy an engagement ring, and mail it to Matthew Perry, which I feel like has a lot of holes in that logic.
Yeah, especially right now. Oh wait, no, that was Luke. Oh wait, hold on. No wait, that was Luke Perry that died.
Oh yeah,
I got Matthew Perry and Luke Perry mixed up.
I bet Matthew Perry likes that you did that.
Oh, likes that I did that? But Luke Perry is dead.
No, I was saying Matthew Perry likes that you confused him with the more handsome one.
Yeah, but he's also the more dead one, John.
Fair. R.I.P.
Yeah, so if you have not listened to Newer Rules by John Butter, wait, you have a stage name. You have a stage name on DJ 10 Dads?
Yes, that is my stage name for when I do mashups and remixes.
Yeah, and that would be under that, right? The Newer Rules?
I'm not sure if that is. Because it's only for when I do like a mashup or an original song like that. I'm not sure. I'll put it under the tag later.
Okay, all right. But so there was a little bit of overlap. I mean, like the whole "don't call him at all," like that was like one. That's kind of the first one. One, don't pick up the phone. He's only calling because he's drunk and alone. Two, don't be his friend. You gotta wake up in the morning. That's it's kind of the same, but you did kind of elevate a little bit. You're like, don't call him at all.
You can't call him.
Okay, so all right, so let's move on. The next story. Georgia judge issues temporary block on gender-affirming healthcare ban, an incredible victory. So John, you're from Georgia, right?
Yes, I am in Georgia.
You live in Georgia, yes. Which is not too far from where I live. It's about 4 hours.
Yeah.
Or at least Atlanta is 4 hours. I'm not sure when the actually get to the border of the state is, but either way, it's not that far.
Nice.
Right. So a federal judge has issued a temporary block on a policy that seeks to ban the provision of gender-affirming healthcare for trans youth across the U.S. state of Georgia. This decision is an incredible victory for Georgia's families, the advocate reported, the plaintiff's counsel saying. This law unapologetically targets transgender minors and denies them essential health care. The ruling restores parents' rights to make medical decisions that are in their child's best interest, including hormone therapy for their transgender children when needed for them to thrive and be healthy. I kind of wish that these these title for these stories didn't use so many double negatives, like block gender-affirming healthcare ban. It's like, oh, okay, yep, just gotta make sure. It's like, okay, so that's a good thing, yes, because it's double negative.
Right.
It's like
right.
you see the word, you see the word blocks and ban first, and it's like, wait, what?
Right. Exactly.
I mean, obviously, when you actually read it, it's like then I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right. You have to process it a little bit.
You do have to process a little bit, but yeah, that's awesome. Do you think that this block is gonna stay like this?
Well, I don't know. On one hand, it's Georgia. On the other hand, we have been tilting towards blue.
Well,
I don't know if you remember.
Well, you guys are a blue state now, right?
Kinda, I think. I'm not sure if it's going to stick, but here's to hoping.
Yes, and I remember that because there's that Saturday Night Live skit where they were in that Georgia restaurant and everybody was everyone was saying their pronouns because yep, we're blue now.
I remember that one. It was hosted by the famously unproblematic John Krasinski.
Wait, that was oh yeah. Wait, is he famously unproblematic?
I don't know.
I can't tell. I can't tell if I can't wait. I can't tell if you're joking about that when you call him famously unproblematic.
I don't think he's. Now that I think about it, I don't remember if he. Probably not. Not if people think about him for him to actually catch flack.
No, that's true. I don't know. I think he did something. I don't know. Maybe it was just starring in that Jack Ryan show. I don't know.
That's probably what I was thinking of.
That Jack Ryan show on Amazon, which, I mean, it is basically just U.S. propaganda.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, oh boy.
Can't wait for Quiet Place Part 3, though.
Is there going to be a Part 3?
I think so.
I actually still haven't seen Part 2 yet.
It's extremely the middle of a trilogy. You're going to walk in saying, okay, they start immediately after the first one ends, and then the ends kind of No one learned any like individual lessons. It doesn't feel like an individual movie. It
Okay, I know
feels
what you
like
mean.
you have to. It feels like you have to see one and then the next one to get like a full story.
I get what you mean.
Hmm.
So yeah, so you definitely do think there's going to be a third one then.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Yeah, it's oh my god, that came out in 2020 and I still haven't seen it. I don't want my excuse because I love the
Oh,
first
well,
movie so much.
yeah. Well, it was supposed to come out in 2020,
Oh
but
wait, did it get pushed back to 2021, right?
yeah.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah, I was kind of yeah, I was kind of bad at catching up with movies that year cuz pandemic.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
And the other option was, video on demand, and that's expensive.
it is.
It's a lot
It
more
is. I
expensive than
spent
just a
$20 on Trolls World Tour.
yeah. I didn't buy Trolls World Tour. I'm like $20. No, thank you. I haven't even seen the first Trolls movie. I haven't seen it. I don't think I have to. I highly
It's
doubt I will have to for this
World
movie.
Tour
But
is better.
that's what I've heard. I've heard that World Tour is better than the first one. What do you think about the third movie, though?
I'm interested.
I
I
don't.
sort of like that they're taking pot shots at Justin Timberlake's boy band era.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like I feel like the stakes have like lowered in the Trolls franchise. Like in the first movie, they're up against monsters that want to eat them, and in the
Yeah,
second movie, they're up against another troll who's trying to steal their music. And then the
it's
third
their
one's
music. It's their way of life.
yeah, but like in the first movie, y'all were gonna get eaten.
Yeah, well, without music, you might as well be dead. If you ever thought about
Okay,
that.
but and then this third movie, it just looks like, oh, we're reuniting Branch's brothers. Yay. Like I'm sure there's more conflict to that in the actual movie itself, but like that's what they're selling us. That's what they're presenting to
I
us.
mean, there could be a villain that they're not telling us about
I
that
mean,
could
maybe.
threaten all of the troll world.
I mean, maybe, but it just seems like it's a much lower stake than the first two
Yeah,
movies. Like
yeah,
this feels like it almost feels like a straight to video sequel or a
yeah.
spin off.
Feels like D3 the Mighty Ducks, exactly.
Or like one of the Land Before Time sequels where like it's just like the conflict is just a really arbitrary thing. Like, oh, Petrie has to fly in this flying ceremony with his family, and
Mhm.
but he can't do it, and oh no, we gotta get him to fly again.
Right.
Yeah, like
Or like
you know what?
Aladdin, the King of Thieves, when Aladdin's dad showed up.
Well, I wouldn't compare it to that because there was actual like stakes in that movie too.
Hmm, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But
Like
keep in mind,
I'm just saying like in terms
yeah.
of like lowering the stakes.
Mm,
Or like how in Mulan 3 it was about Mulan, sorry, not Mulan 3, Mulan 2 was about like protecting
yes.
those princesses. Like that's the conflict, that's the plot.
Right. I never saw Mulan 2, but
It's
I think I saw a 1 second clip that was just like, spicy. Yes.
it was
I don't know how to explain it, but it was on Tumblr. It was
was
just
it
like 2 seconds. Spicy. Yes. Just on a loop.
spicy? Yes. I don't know that scene, but I know that was it White Eddie Murphy? White Eddie Murphy Mushu
Uh, no, I think it's.
that said that line?
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Disney really cast a white man to imitate Eddie Murphy to play Mushu in the sequel.
Unforgivable. But hold on, I found it.
Spicy. Yes.
Oh,
Spicy. Yes.
I can't
yes,
believe I remember that.
that's spicy. Yes.
See, I'm
Anyway,
not crazy. I'm not making it up.
I didn't say you were. Okay, all right. So, this last story, before we we get into other things. I don't know. Okay. Florida teacher investigated for showing movie calls on fellow educators to stand up. Okay, so
yes.
John, so I don't know if you saw this episode, but we actually,
Oh.
she was at the subject of this story was actually interviewed by us. Was on the
I
podcast.
actually saw that one. Yeah.
Yeah, about like a few months ago, I think. I think it was like 2 months ago. So yes, a Florida teacher who is being investigated by the state after she showed her class the Disney film Strange World
Yeah.
featuring a gay character is calling on other educators to stand up for what's right. Due to the investigation still pending, 5th grade teacher Jenna Barbee, who has a son with her fiance, says she has been left wondering if she will lose her teaching license, face suspension, or receive a fine. However, the investigation hasn't stopped her from championing inclusivity and acceptance in the classroom. As much as I'm ready to move to Tennessee or Colorado, which are so ahead of the times, this is my home state and I can't just run from it. I have to make
Right.
sure things change here first and then leave my mark before I go.
Absolutely. I remember that episode. It was a good one.
Yeah, way to go, Jenna. Way to go. And
Absolutely.
I think she does like give a good powerful statement about, like why don't you just leave? Like, why don't you just leave? It's like I can't just leave this the way it is. Like, I can't.
Right. Absolutely. Just picking fight over flight.
Yeah. Which, honestly, I don't, which I can't, I don't, which that's to say, I'm not going to blame anyone who does pick flight.
Right. It's.
It's, like, cause hey, if you don't feel safe in Florida, then leave. Cause,
Right.
them alligators will come get you. Them Floridian gators.
Especially if you're at a Publix.
We actually have Publix here in North Carolina. Do you have them in Georgia? Do you have them in Georgia?
Yeah, we have them in
Okay,
Georgia.
you have a Publix.
I just remembered that they have a lot of Publix in Florida.
They do, yes. They do have a lot of Publix. Okay, so that concludes Sounds Gay, I'm in. John, what did you think of those stories?
They're pretty good. They're really nice stories, except for the first one, which is not nice. It's
not nice, but it's important. Like, we gotta talk.
Yes.
Yeah, it's important.
Absolutely.
So now let's go into my hyperfixation of the week, which is you, John.
Me?
You.
Me?
Yes, you. Okay, so well, actually, first, can we talk about the Blue Beetle movie? Because I know that you saw it.
Yes.
So before we get into you, can we talk about Blue Beetle?
Yes. That's why
Okay.
I wore blue for the Beetle.
Yes, I actually did tell you that we were going to talk about Blue Beetle before we recorded. So, okay, so what did you think of the movie?
I thought it was pretty good. On Letterboxd, I gave it 4 out of 5 with a heart. I thought it was, your kind of your run-of-the-mill superhero origin story, but
It is a little
with
bit,
an
yeah.
emphasis on family.
Yeah, the way I worded it, like, yeah, this movie does have a lot of superhero movie cliches, but like they're fun cliches. Like, it's like, it's a very if it ain't broke, don't fix it movie.
Right. And I'm kind of a sucker for like the classic superhero origin story. I mean,
It did. A lot of people compare it to like the Raimi trilogy, and like I can definitely see it. I can see the parallels there.
Yeah, I mean, 2002 Spider-Man was the blueprint for so many superhero origin stories.
Yeah, it really was. And in fact, I've often heard Blue Beetle described as like if Spider-Man got Green Lantern powers from Venom.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see Green Lantern, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but you know what his powers are, right? He can
Yeah.
construct pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Although I think that I think the Beetle's actual powers are a little bit more limited than the Green Lanterns, because the Green Lantern can literally like make anything out of light, whereas like the Blue Beetle kind of seems like okay, I can make this thing, but only this from that's up to this size, or I don't know. That's just what it seemed like in the movie itself, but maybe in the comics it's actually like more like crazy.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Did you know that they based some of the choreography of the movie off of Blue Beetle's moveset in Injustice 2?
I did not know that.
No. Okay. And also I loved how so you know about the original Blue Beetle, Ted Cord, right?
Yes, from the movie, yes.
Okay.
I learned it through the movie.
Like prior to the movie.
Prior to the movie, no, I didn't really have any knowledge of the Blue Beetle.
So there was another character who went by the name of Blue Beetle before Jaime Reyes, and and it's Ted Cord, and unlike Jaime, he does not actually have any powers himself, but he has like a lot of high-tech gadgets. And I do like the way that they incorporated him into this movie. You know what I was thinking was going to happen? I thought that he was just going to get like a post-credit like teaser, which I mean, he did get that. Spoiler alert, but he does get that. But it was like more than just that. It was like, it's like he had such a huge presence in the movie, but without ever actually showing up. And I kind of think that was kind of interesting. It's kind of an interesting subversion, because like another thing they could have done, they could have made it like Ant-Man, where like he's mentoring Jaime, like, the first, version of the character is mentoring the newer version.
Right. So,
which is like kind of like what they did with Atom Smasher in Black Adam, but also
I did not see that.
Oh, you didn't see Black Adam?
No.
Yeah, it was bad.
No, I remember when I went to see Ticket to Paradise, I accidentally walked in the wrong theater after going to the bathroom, walking to the wrong theater and seeing Black Adam, going, oh.
Yeah, I'm starting to think maybe I should have seen Ticket to Paradise instead, because
it was nice.
Yeah, there was probably better acting in it too.
I love me a rom-com that's built for middle-aged people.
So you probably love the what's-its, the book club movies.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Those aren't made for middle-aged people. Those are made for older people.
I also love me a movie where old ladies just go to a place.
So wait, so did you see 80 for Brady then?
I actually did not.
You didn't see 80 for Brady. Okay.
I remembered that as soon as I said that.
Right. It's, if you've seen Book Club, you've probably seen the same movie. Just replace.
Yeah. Oh, actually.
Just replace 50 Shades of Grey with Tom Brady. What are you getting? Wait, what is that? What is that? What am I looking at?
Sorry, 1 second. I have Book Club on DVD.
You have Book Club on DVD? Oh my god. I'm gonna be real. The only reason why I saw that movie is because I worked at Regal at the time when it came out, so I saw it for free. I did not have to pay to see it. Although, then again, this was around the time Movie Pass was a thing, right?
Oh yeah.
So you didn't have to see it either.
Beautiful summer of Movie Pass.
Yeah, Movie Pass. That was an inconvenient time for me to work at a movie theater when I should have just gotten Movie Pass, man.
No, that was a great time for me to be unemployed.
I mean,
I could save money.
I should have been unemployed at the time, because man, working at Regal fucking sucks. Well, you know what? I already talked about that in a previous episode about what about how bad Regal was and how I got fired for following the rules. I'm still not over that. It's like I wanted to quit anyway, but it's the principle.
Mm.
Yeah. So I do wanted to go back to the whole thing about how I didn't like Black Adam, and yeah, I do think that like this trend of like bad DC superhero movies like turned audiences away from this one. They were like, no, the last 4 were bad, and I count League of Super Pets too, even though that one is animated for children, but so is the Lego Batman movie, so that's not an excuse.
I mean, the one with the movie poster that had Dwayne Johnson's name larger than the actual movie title.
Yeah, like it was
starting to think that guy's got kind of an ego.
Okay, here's the thing. Okay, I will be fair though. Hollywood's complicated, so maybe it's not him. Maybe it's his PR team. I don't know. Like,
I don't know. It's part of that, but it's also like I feel like I read somewhere that like he put in his contract like if I'm gonna be in a movie, like you can't show me be weak, or you can't show me like
I think
I don't know.
No, I think it's that if like he can't in a fight scene, like nobody can hit him more than he hits them. I think that's what it.
Louise.
I think that's what the deal was. And it's like as much as I'd love to just write it off as, oh, he's just arrogant, but like, I don't know. It's probably his like team that made him do this. And like, there's probably a reason why, because I don't know, they want to have this image of him, like, to sell things.
Right.
And he's just like going along with it because it's like, okay, well, fine. This is the business. Like,
God, can you imagine going to see like Skyscraper and just like logging every time he gets hit in a fight scene?
Yeah, I mean that was definitely someone's job, when they were making those movies.
No, I don't know. They hit him 5 times. He only hit them 4. I don't like that. Fix the scene. Edit it.
Yeah, that's you say that as a joke.
One of his hits if you have to.
You say that as a joke, but that's probably what they do in these movies. That's probably how it is. But then, okay, so there was that movie, but then there was also Shazam 2.
Ooh, yeah, it has not been.
What is it about?
Great.
What is it about Shazam 2 that was so much worse than the first movie? Because like I'm having a hard time putting my finger on it. Why
they lost the sauce?
But like, why? What did they do wrong?
I'm not sure.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is that they like really just made Shazam. They made Billy Batson, Shazam. They made him so much whinier in this movie.
Yeah, I think that would be it.
And also, we barely get to see him like as Billy Batson. Like he's Shazam the whole time, and it's really showing that Zachary Levi is a much worse actor than Asher Angel is.
Yeah.
God, Zachary, imagine getting, imagine you have been acting for decades and you get outperformed by your co-stars that are not even old enough to drink.
Tragic.
I
also remember there was like that weird part where he was like having dinner with Wonder Woman.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, I think that was supposed to be a dream, right?
A dream? I forgot if it was a dream.
Yeah, that was a dream. I think that was supposed to be just a dream, but then Wonder Woman shows up for real at the end of the movie.
The end.
And brings him back
I'm gonna use magic.
Magic to bring him
Her
back
Amazon
to life.
magic.
Well, no, that was actually God magic that brought back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
well that's acceptable.
I know, but she just like came out of nowhere and like did this crazy thing that's like, you can't just throw in a cameo character like that and make a cameo character do that. And then she made another cameo like that in The Flash.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing we could say about Blue Beetle, no cameo from Wonder Woman in this.
Nope. No
because
I
there
don't think there
didn't
were
need
any
to be
cameos at
any.
all.
No, and
Not
there
even
didn't
that,
need.
it was his own contained story.
It was, yes, it was, which is why I think which I think was also kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Tactical, on purpose. It was on purpose because I think the DC wants this movie to fit in either the old DCEU or the new one that James Gunn is creating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just and I just think that it's like. But hey, whatever. It's a good self-contained movie that just kind of references Batman and Superman. So like, it's like, yeah, you could say it's part of the DCU, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, and if they still want to, they could have a part in Justice League 2, where at the very end he's like, need some help, and then he like sort of skateboards in.
Yep, that's exactly how it's gonna happen. Which is also kind of how I felt about Shazam, the first Shazam movie. Like, that was very much like, okay, this could be in the DCU, but it also could just be its own thing.
Right. Exactly. I like Shazam, the first one.
Oh, yeah, me too. I loved it, which is why it's so baffling that they dropped the ball so much in the second one. Although, have you ever seen that interview with Rachel Zegler where someone asked her why she's in this movie, and she just says, I needed a job.
Mm-hmm. Don't we all? Don't we all, Rachel?
I'm just like, I love how blunt she is about that. And honestly, I'm kind of low-key living for these interviews that she's giving where she's just trashing that new Snow White movie. No, sorry, she's trashing the original movie.
Oh,
she's trashing the original movie, like saying like, yeah, our movie is great. The old one was trash. It was like the prince was a stalker. Snow White was a weak little bitch. The movie was creepy. I only watched it one time when I was 7 years old, and then I fucking threw that shit in the trash.
It was scary. She also said it was scary. I think she said it was scary too, which I mean, hard agree on that one.
Yeah, and she said like the ride at Disney World is called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Why would I go on a ride that's scary?
I went to Disney World when I was like 5. That ride is scary. Like the witch turns around like,
well,
like really fast.
They put it in the title. They put it in the title of the ride. They let you know right ahead, like this ride is scary. It's called Snow White's Scary Adventures.
I would say it scared me almost as much as the 3D shows back then.
Oh yeah, you did. I remember seeing one of your posts where you did mention that you have like a thing with 3D shows, like how
because I was 5 years old. It was 1998. 3D movies were not a thing back then. So I was going into this. It was like this big screen, and it was Wayne Zelinsky shrinking me, an audience member.
Right, the Honey I Shrunk the Audience attraction. I love that fucking show. That was amazing. I loved that show. I miss it. And now they got rid of the playground too. So it's like there's no Honey I Shrunk the Kids anything in Disney World.
A shame.
I don't know why they got rid of the show. I don't know why they got rid of it. Well, I know they got rid of it because they brought back Captain EO when Michael Jackson died. But then they got rid of that, and now there's just playing like, oh, it's Pixar and Disney shorts, yay! But it's the same. It's these 3 specific shorts, which granted they are good, but it's like, well, yeah, but I could just watch this at home. Like this isn't really
right.
Like Honey I Shrunk the Audience. Like that was an experience. Like it was immersive because you
fun.
were in the audience. Like you weren't just watching a show. You were a part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that Disney definitely should bring that back.
Mm-hmm.
They can bring back Captain EO. They can bring this back.
Yeah.
But although the problem is funding though, because like all of Epcot's attractions are funded by companies. And also, I just don't think they're interested in the IP of. I don't know. They're doing something crazy with Epcot. They're like making a whole bunch of other stuff, and they're making a lot more IP based.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Anyway, how did we get to talking about Disney World? Oh yeah, Snow White.
Ah,
Yeah, Rachel Zegler.
yeah.
Yeah, and I love how it's just pissing off conservatives so much.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, okay, yeah, like you guys were lining up to see the Snow White movie. Okay. Yeah, you guys are so passionate about Snow White. And you're like, how
At the
dare.
very most, they were probably planning on taking their kids, and now they're gonna have to explain to their kids why they're not going to see the new Snow White anymore.
It's like, because the actress trash talked the original and she's not white.
Jesus. Yeah.
And it's like, what do you like? I can imagine the kids being like, "What do you mean she's not white? What is that? What do you mean by that?" And then you're gonna have to explain fucking racism to your kid and how you're racist. It's like you're always talking about like, "Oh, how am I gonna explain this to my kids? How am I gonna explain this to my kids?" I don't know, but you know, explain your own shit. Like, explain what you got going on.
Right. Exactly.
Explain the skeletons that are in your closet. Like, how are you gonna explain that? How are you going to explain divorce? How are you going to explain that DUI you got?
You see, sometimes when one man and 15 beers love each other very much.
Anyway, speaking of racism, I also love how this Blue Beetle movie, I said this in my Letterboxd review, but I love how this movie, this addresses like, you know, it addresses like, you know, racial tensions. Not racial tensions. Well, maybe, I don't know. Am I saying it right? But you know what I mean? Like, it's like,
Yeah.
like, you know, it's acknowledging the struggles that, you know, the people that this movie are representing, you know, go through. And I love how, unlike certain other superhero movies that have done the same thing, where the villain is some kind of like radical activist who like kills people. Instead, in this movie, it's just an evil, racist white lady.
Yes, it's the person who's directly causing sort of the predicament. You know, forcing forcing the neighborhood out.
Yeah, the real enemy. Yes, and it's like I do love this movie. Had the nerve to do that. Like, and oh my god, fucking the henchman's backstory. Can we talk about the henchman's backstory?
The henchman's backstory.
Yeah, do you remember at the end of the movie where you know, when I can't say it without spoiling. I do not want to spoil this movie, but like, you know, at the end of the movie, you know, we get to see like, you know, his life. Okay, now you remember?
Oh my god. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just remembered that. Yes.
Yeah, oh my god, that shit was like,
that was
bruh.
intense.
It was intense. I was like, whoa, Warner Brothers let y'all get away with this?
It's
in their movie that sells toys? But not Lego sets. But not Lego sets, though. Freaking Lego stopped making sets based on DC movies.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I'm annoyed at that. Because, like, this movie would have, like, obviously you could have made a set out of that Beetle ship.
Oh, yeah, that would have made a good Lego set.
Yeah, it would have made a great Lego set. I think that all the recent DCE movies would have made great Lego sets. Like, I thought Shazam could have had one of, like, the dragon in the tree, and Black Adam could have had one of the Justice Society's ship. That would have been fun. I don't care how bad the movie is. It would have been fun. The hell, Lego? What the hell?
Yeah, we had one of the Suicide Squad with them fighting the big squid.
Well, okay, I can understand why they don't make sets based on R-rated movies. I understand that. Like, but those other movies are not rated R. They're PG-13, so I don't.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah.
They did make sets based on the Batman, though. I do like the Batman sets. But now it's like they only make sets based on Batman. That's the only DC representation there is. Yeah. Anyway, but so yeah, also so. Do you think it was on purpose that they made Susan Sarandon look like Hillary Clinton?
I'm not sure. I think it was just. I'm gonna have to see her again.
Yeah, like her
And do it.
haircut, her hair looks just like Hillary Clinton's.
I got my phone right here.
You got your phone you're Googling Susan Sarandon, Blue Beetle. Oh boy. Yeah, it's just I love that this movie with starring a Latino superhero, the main villain
No, I see it.
The main villain's a Karen.
I'm like doing a side-by-side comparison. Although I started to type in Hillary and it immediately auto-filled in as Hillary Duff Come Clean, which I was just Googling the other day.
Understandable. Let the rain fall down and wet my dreams.
Wet my dreams.
Wait, is that what the lyrics are?
I think it's let the rain fall down and wake my dreams. Let it wash away my sanity. Because I wanna feel the thunder. I wanna scream.
I thought it was wet my dreams. Which, yes, I do understand how that sounds problematic. But I don't know. I thought that's what the lyrics were.
Yes, I believe it was co-written by Tobias Funke.
Anyway, so yeah, go see Blue Beetle, everyone, if you haven't already.
Yes. If it's still in theaters.
Anyway, oh boy, oh wow, I took longer than I thought. John, well, we have, you know what? Okay, so in the time we have left, let me ask you. So you make a lot of edits, right?
Yes, a lot of funny videos,
a lot of fun little edits
remixes, mashups. Yes,
on your YouTube and Twitter and TikToks and
yeah, a lot of that. Yeah,
and Tumblr, yeah, and on your Tumblr too.
In my Tumblr,
right? So what got you into editing?
Let's see. I mean, I've always been sort of interested in making funny videos ever since like middle school, and then I went to honestly, like a sort of computer camp for a ton of general stuff like, robotics, computer programming, but they had a spot for video editing. And I went there like 2 years in a row. We learned Final Cut Pro. It was so much fun. Ooh. And yeah, I mean, ever since then I've been working, with
I didn't learn how to use Final Cut Pro until I was in college.
And then when I was in college is when I learned sort of the Adobe suite. So I learned like Ableton Live when doing my song edits.
Oh, is that the program you use for your song edits?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So John, you also got into you made YouTube poops, right? On your YouTube channel?
A few. Yes.
Yeah. Can you explain to the audience what a YouTube poop is?
So a YouTube poop is when you take a base, like it could be anything, a music video, a TV show, a movie, a commercial, and
a
CDI
sort of just
game?
Like
chop and screw it. Yeah, CDI game. Sort of just like chop and screw it. So like some of the more popular things and older YouTube poops include Hotel Mario, that one Zelda game, where it's like, gee, it sure is boring around here, my boy.
My boy.
True peace like this is what true warriors strive for. I forgot the line. I just want to know what Ganon's up to.
How about a kiss for luck? You've got to be kidding me.
Basically, yeah. Chopping and screwing, sentence mixing, and whatnot.
Right. Do you have a favorite YouTube poop?
Actually, I was just thinking about this the other day because of Riverdale ending. I remember just taking Riverdale just way back in the day, a few years ago, I edited a scene from one of the first few episodes just a quick scene.
Oh, is it the one
And-
where Reggie keeps calling what's his face? Jughead Donnie
Jughead.
Darko.
Donnie Darko, yeah.
Donnie Darko.
I also edited it so he called him Smughead.
Smug. Oh boy. Yeah. Those yeah, Riverdale. What a bizarre show.
It honestly, within the third season, it was fully off the rails. Like they're talking about like
here's the thing. I should have I stopped watching it after the first season because I didn't think it was crazy enough to like make up for how bad it was. I should have kept watching.
I mean, by season 3, it was like the serpents are fighting the ghoulies while the farmies are. These are real turns in the show.
Yeah, and then like by season 6, they're like saving the multiverse or something.
That's yes, I believe I stopped watching like about 3.5 seasons in, but from what I can tell, one of the characters, Cheryl, basically turned into the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch from Shine.com. John, last question I have for you. So you're really into movies and TV shows, and you live in Atlanta, where a lot of movies and TV shows are made.
Yes.
Do you have any fun stories?
I actually have one.
Okay.
I remember back in 2013, they were filming Anchorman 2 in Atlanta. And this was I was going to college in downtown Atlanta, the one where I previously mentioned I dropped out of. And one day I saw a sort of a lot of like really old taxi cabs, like sort of retro taxis. And I was like, oh, I wonder what's that for? What's that for? And then the next year, I put it 2 and 2 together because I noticed definitely in the big fight scene, like, oh, that's in Atlanta. They were filming here. That's my story.
Aha!
I know it's because
so you recognize a lot of places when you see them, right?
yeah, because I know there's this big red circle that I know had the Coca-Cola sign in it originally, but in the movie they took it out.
They took it because
In
Coca-Cola
post.
didn't pay them. Coca-Cola did not pay them for that. So they're like, we're not giving them free advertising in our movie. No.
But I am.
But you are. You're giving free Sprite advertisement too. And I'm giving advertisement for Disney's Dinosaur. Because no one else will.
You gotta keep the name alive.
You gotta keep the name alive. I gotta keep it alive, man.
Like Coco.
Yeah,
if you don't keep talking about it, it will die.
I'm the only thing keeping Dinosaur from turning into like a pile of leaves or whatever the heck happens to the spirit, to the dead people in Coco. They like turn to leaves, right?
I think so.
They turn to leaves and like disappear. Yeah, this is my ofrenda. I'm sorry. That is so wrong for me as a white person to be just like saying that. Oh my god, that's so bad. Oh my god. Okay, on that note, we should wrap up.
I'm clipping that.
Oh my god. John, where can people find you?
Let's see. I'm on Tumblr and TikTok and Letterboxd under the name John Butter. And then, this is important, on Twitter, I'm under the John Butter. Because someone
X?
already took that.
No,
I don't.
No,
I refuse.
You don't mean X. You refuse to call it X.
No, come at me, Elon.
Yeah, fuck you, Elon. Fuck you.
Oh no, my bank account's been depleted.
Oh no.
That happened so fast.
But Well, I mean, oh no. Well, there goes my there goes me making money on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because I had such a chance before. So it's pretty much follow you anywhere at John Butter, but on Twitter it's the John Butter. Someone took that.
Yeah.
Nasty bitch.
Or if you type in CSI Cyber into the search bar, you're gonna find me talking about it.
CSI Cyber. Where were you watching that? Was it
I bought all the episodes.
Oh, you bought
Apple
okay, so
TV.
So it's not streaming.
No, I paid money for it.
Okay, because I was like, if it's streaming somewhere, I'll check it out. But I'm not paying money for the individual episodes. No, not gonna do that.
They do have a sort of a sale on buying the entire season.
Yeah, I know buying the entire season is cheaper, but like, as opposed to just paying a subscription price and like just getting the service yourself. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe my sister and my brother-in-law can put it on their Plex server. Maybe I can get them to do that, which is legal somehow. I don't know how that's legal, but it is. So don't come at me, feds. Anyway, you could follow me anywhere at It's Kevin O'Lear. That's ITSKEVINOLEAR. You can follow this podcast anywhere at Fruity Cereal. That is fruity like the food, and cereal like the killer or number. You could also follow the Empty the Bench podcast network at ETB Network. You could also follow Connor, even though he's not here. Him at Connor K Fits 92. And hey, make sure if you are watching this video on YouTube, make sure to smash that motherfucking like button. If you are listening to it on any of our various podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Acast, or iHeartRadio, rate it, baby. Give us a review too. Say something, anything. I don't care. Just say it. Say it. And
say something. I'm giving up on you.
Yeah, say something. You're giving up on you. And you could follow and make sure to subscribe to the Empty the Bench podcast YouTube channel. John, thank you so much for joining us today. And everyone else, actually, you too. Actually, you too, John, and everybody, stay fruity. Boop, boop, boop.